Okay. Right. Starting. Yeah. 2 minutes. Ready? Odd, 2 minutes. Odd. We have Freddie Sweat. He's the new Shemosh of the Beit Knesset. He helps out. Baruch Hashem. Freddie. You know what he did today? He shopped for Pesach. He shopped the whole Pesach. Albert. He shopped the whole Pesach. Everything that we need, the shul needs for Pesach, he shopped. I used to do the shopping. I know. It was like, all right, let's go. Start it up. All right. We're ready to start today. Oh, look at this. Isaac Shehina. Not bad, Isaac. Wow, delicious, Teddy. Delicious. Wow. All right. Are we ready to start? Everybody's ready? Okay. Now, we would like to start by speaking about this week is Parashat. We know it speaks about the Metzora. What happens when a person has Metzora, and why is he called Metzora? Metzora comes from a lashon of motzi ra. How does a person get Metzora if he speaks lashon hara? So therefore, the Metzora is called motzi ra. So we say Metzora. So the guy understands. He says, oh my goodness, why does he have it? What is it? It's some white spots that he has on his skin. It's some or white hairs that come in a blister, and he sees white hairs, and he calls the Kohen, what is this going on? And they ship him off, Jack. They ship him off. And they go where? They go outside the camp. Now he's outside the camp. What is he doing outside the camp? He's doing one thing. What is it? Something called teshuvah. When something happens to a person, first thing he has to realize is, it doesn't happen stam. Nothing happens, it happened. Like we always say, what's mikre? Mikre is it happened. In Hebrew it says mikre, everybody knows this. What's mikre? It means happen. But if you scramble the letters, it says mikre rak me Hashem. Nothing just happens. That just happened. So if that's the case, I just don't understand. So now he makes teshuvah. Good. Now his white spots go away. He calls the Kohen and he says, Rabbi Cohen, please check. Is the spots clear, yes or no? So he looks at the spots. Spots are clear. Great. Now what does he do? After he checks the spots, everything's good. He's not tahor right away. He's not tahor right away. What does he do? He has a process. What's the process? They shave his body. He has to dip in the mikveh. They shave his body, he has to dip in the mikveh. And it's not only that. What they do is, they take a vessel, an earthenware vessel, they put in spring water, natural spring water. They take 2 birds. One bird they do shechita on the bird, and the blood enters this vessel with water. Then they take another bird. This time, they use a ezov and a piece of cedar wood. They tie it together with a string. And what? They dip it in that water, the bloody water. They sprinkle it 7 times on the Metzora. 7 times. And then he has to wait a week after that. So it's 1 week, another week, and then after he dips in, he has to give korbanot, asham, khatat, menha. He does all these things. If you give me the Humash, I'll show you exactly what it says over there. If you give me the Humash, I'll show it to you right away. What happens? He does all this stuff. What does he do? Come, Jacob, pass it to me, please. Right there. Thank you very much, Jacob. I'll read it to you. Here, this is in Parashat. Oh, look at that, right by the page. Again, what does he do? Vetzivah HaKohen, listen to the words. Velakach, what does he do? Velakach lemiteher shte tzipurim. He takes what? 2 birds. Etz erez, he takes from a cedar wood. Ushni tolat, like be'ezov, he takes from the ezov a small bush. He takes a piece of a small bush with the ezov, he ties it together. Vetzivah HaKohen, and the Kohen commands, shachat et hatzipor, do shechita on the tzipor, because he's taking 2 tzipors, do shechita el kli cheres al maim hayim. What is kli cheres? Kli cheres is a pottery. Pot al maim hayim means spring water, like fresh water. Et hatzipor haya, the bird, yikachota, take the bird, meaning now we're talking about the other bird. So one bird is done shechita and the blood leaked inside the water. The other bird, what do? It says take the yikachat hatzipor, take the other bird. What does he do over here? It says over here, we have a tied together a small piece of ezov, which is a small bush, and what? For a piece of the cedar tree. Vetaval otam, dip it into that water. Ve'et hatzipor hachaya, right? Bedam hatzipor hashekuta al mayim hayim. And what does he do after he dips it in? Vehiza ala mitaer sheva pa'amim. You take it, you throw it on him 7 times. So he's having the bird, he's throwing it 7 times. Ve'shilachat hatzipor. Then what does he do? You take the bird and you make him fly away. The one bird, he was dead. The other bird, you take him, fly away, and he goes. Now what happens over there? We tell the guy, clean your clothing, ve'gilach et kol sa'aro, we shave his whole body, ve'rachatz b'mayim v'taher. He dips in the mikveh, he's tahor. But not so fast. He has to wait 7 days. On the 7th day, we do it again. Yegalech et kol sa'aro again. We shave him twice. So first again, what do? First time we say dip in the mikveh, shave him off, dip in the mikveh. After we shave him, he dips in the mikveh. Fine, very good. We come back 7 days later. Okay, very good. We shave him again and he dips again. Vaya b'yom ha'shevi'i. Yegalech et kol sa'aro again. Et rosho, et zekeno. She gets a full buzz. Not over here, because this is already, you're not allowed to. Over here, there's peot, you got to be careful. Some people don't know this. This is peot, you have to be careful. It's isur deoraita. People don't know this. They go like this. The pe'ah is isur deoraita over here. This part, from this till there, you have to be very careful with this. This is very, very important. People don't know. I tell the guy, as long as you can pull it, it's good. If you can pull it, you're good. What's the minimum? They say about 1.5, 1 like that. You have to be able to pull it. If you're not able to pull it, it's a haram. You have to be very, very careful with this. Very, very careful. Sometimes they also go with the blade, they go like this. They go the blade like this. You see it? Haram. I tell the guy, excuse me, I don't care, the whole haircut, I don't care. Over here, be as close as possible over here beyond the ear. This, that. Don't mess around with this, because it's the oraita. So anyway, they shave him up. Now, everybody sees the purification process, right? And what does he do? The 8th day, he brings, you know how many korbanot he brings? You should read the Torah what it says. This korban, that korban, and that korban. But now I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to stop it here and I'm going to ask you guys a question. What is these birds? What's going on over here? What's the birds thing? Why are you taking an ezov, a small like a piece of blade of grass? And why are you taking a wood from a cedar? Like, what's going on? So I'm going to explain what it says. It says like this. The first bird we take and we do shechita. Arazi yalla, yalla, we're waiting for you. Yalla, come sit. You know this guy, very special man. I told you on Purim. What happened on Purim? You came to my house. I came outside. I said, who took you? He said, my mother's outside. I said, thank you very much for bringing it out. He says, you should know, my son said he's not sleeping tonight until he comes to Rabbi Palacci and Mishnah Manot. I like that. It's beautiful. So he says like this. So now the question is, it's a true story, right? So he says like this. So he says, why 2 birds? One bird does shechita over the water. You know why? Because we're telling the person, you spoke something bad about somebody, it's like you killed him. It's like you killed the guy. You think it's a joke, you think big deal. You're eating some bizit and taking balash. This guy's a loser, this guy's a nobody, this guy's a zero, this guy doesn't know how to learn, this guy's this guy's that, this guy acts rich but he's poor. It's the guy goes, oh yeah, this guy. Well, you think he's rich because he has a crazy car like that? I know he's a guy, he's scared. It's all on the outside. Inside, he's broke. So, you just killed the guy. You literally killed the guy. I remember in school, growing up at school, there was a guy that they made fun of, and I'll never forget this in my life. They called his father the janitor of the school. And people were talking about it. And I remember the rabbi of the shul, in a big, big shul, he got up there and he says, I'm very upset this week in this school. This is what happened. They're making fun of this kid that his father's a janitor and he's carrying all the keys like a janitor, like this, like that. And the kid, he wanted to go back to school. He didn't want to go back to school anymore. You say to yourself, what are you doing? Because when you speak something bad about somebody, you know how hard it is for the person. You think, big deal, it's not that bad. No, it's very bad. You know what they say, one of the things about teshuvah, about how do you make teshuvah, about they came to the rabbi. You know the famous study, you know the famous story with the rabbi. He came to the rabbi, he says, Rabbi, how do I make teshuvah? He said, what'd you do? I spoke Lashon Hara, I spoke Lashon Hara. He said, how many people? I spoke this Lashon Hara. You know the story, what happened. So he says, okay, go get me the fattest bird. So okay, he gets him the fattest bird, and he says, what do you want to do? He says, come with me. He starts plucking out the feathers. One feather, two feathers. He's on the street. Okay. He says, Rabbi, I did what you said. I said, what'd you do? He said, I plucked up all the feathers from the bird. Oh, really? Yeah. He says, okay, fine. So now what do I do? He says, go pick them up. I said, I can't pick them up. I don't know where it went. He says, when you speak Lashon Hara about somebody, you spoke, but you don't know how far it traveled. You have to be careful. You spoke something bad about somebody, you know how far it could travel. Yeah, you spoke, but you know how far it could travel. You know how far the damage that can be done. And therefore, the first bird we take, we do shechita, shechtem. The second bird, after we're done, what do? We dip that bird in the blood, and we sprinkle him 7 times, and after that, we take the bird, we tell him, shoo away. And if the bird comes back, the halakha says, you take the bird again, and you throw him away again. And if he comes back again, you keep on throwing him away. Why? What's going on? What do we want the bird to fly? It's because your words are so powerful that if you just use those same words to say a good word to someone, you know how far this person could fly away? Just by giving a good word to somebody, just by giving it, even a chacham, even a rabbi. Oh, you're doing a phenomenal job. Wow, you did downstairs. I'm sure it took a lot of work. I see the detail, every single detail, the knob and the floor. How'd you get the tile? Such a big tile, and the walkway and the car and wow, you're doing phenomenal. Oh wow. Like this, it gives chizuk. You know how far it could go for this. You know how far it could go. If a person feels so uplifted, you know what? I'm doing another project. I'm not stopping there. I'm going to extend the whole side of the building and do. What happened? Because this guy gave me a zug. Wow, Rabbi, you're doing phenomenal. You don't know how far it could go. You know how far it could go. You know how far it could go. Imagine you go home to your wife and you say, "Wow, honey, the food that you made tonight for dinner." Unbelievable. So she's looking at how far it could go. All of a sudden, what she do? The next day, she's cooking. What happened? My husband gave me the biggest compliment, and you don't realize what compliment can do. All of a sudden, you gave your wife a compliment. All day she's in the kitchen. Da, da, da. What happened? One word, honey. The dinner was delicious. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. When you get married, you're going to see. Inshallah, you're going to get married. You're going to see what's going to be. You have your wife. You give her a compliment. Wow, honey, everything is so delicious. So therefore, that's the second bird. The second bird, we make him fly away. He says, because don't use your words to kill people and say motzira, say lashon hara. Rather, use your words to make people fly high. And it's very easy. Because words are for free, right? What is words, Yanni? What's words? Words are for free. You give a compliment. You're nice. There's that. Unbelievable. You're doing great. You're doing amazing. Keep up the work. Keep on steiging. Every time when a guy comes back from Menazman, from Israel, from whatever that, I say, you're steiging? Yeah, keep it up. Keep on going strong, right? Isaac, did I tell you that? I tell him all the time. You gotta be chacham. He says, Rabbi, what should I do next year? You gotta be chacham. You go weiter and weiter, stronger and stronger. You know Rabbi Cohen? Remember Rabbi Cohen? Rabbi Isidore Cohen. Remember Rabbi Cohen? He has 90 Sefarim. I saw him the other day. And every time I saw him, you know what he tells me? He says he used to go to Rabbi Victor Miller. And every time he used to give him a book, Rabbi Victor Miller used to tell him, go Rabbi Ezra Cohen, go Mechayel Chayel. I want you to go stronger and stronger. I want you to come back and I want you to give me another 7. So he told me, he gave him so much chizuk that he kept on writing. When he used to go to Rabbi Yosef when he was alive, you know how much chizuk you would give a person? You want to get a haskama from the rabbi. Haskama, you wrote a sefer, you want to get a haskama. The rabbi will look through it. Haskama, continue. And if you see Chawadi giving the slaps, you know what I'm talking about? Tach. You give him chayil, steig away, keep on. I don't know if you say steig away. You say, hey, keep on learning. Keep on learning, keep on going. But we need more Tamdei Chamim. We need more. It's also when you're building a new shul. Don't say when a guy builds a Beit Midrash, Rabbi, how many shuls do we need? 3 shuls in 3 blocks? What do we need? No. You go mechayil, yeah, because everybody has their own style and own learning and own steiging, and every person you could grow from that, and that's what you have to understand. You have to be like the bird, the second bird. What's the second bird? The bird flies away. You make compliments to people. That's what you do, and when you make compliments to people, you'll get schad because you don't know how far that compliment could go. I'll never forget when I first started. I'll never forget the person. I'll never forget what happened. I remember we had to collect a lot of funds in order to start. And we had a certain amount of time to get it. And I went to one of the first people in the community. I went to one first. You know what he told me? He gave me a check. It was 18 grand. A nice check. 18 grand. And he said, listen. He tells me, anytime you need, keep up what you're doing amazing. Baruch Hashem, we did very good. And I went back to him and I told him, I just want you to know, more than the check was the compliment that you gave. More than the check was, you're doing amazing, and that's why I'm doing it. So when you're doing it, it becomes a different, you're making the person fly. And that is exactly the second bird. The second bird is saying, compliment other people so you can make them fly. So one bird is, remember Sarah, Metzora, boom. And one is, fly away, make the person fly. Good? So now what? We go on and we say, why cedar and why the Ezov? Teddy, keep on steiging, huh? The guy gave him a compliment. I remember where he came, Baruch Hashem, he's steiging like crazy. Be'emet, his emunah is tangible. It's contagious. Anyway, so he says like this. He says, why are we tying up cedar wood with the ezov, the small grass? Lalo, you hear the question? We take cedar wood, we have a little grass, we tie it together, we're dipping it in the water, and we're sprinkling it on the guy 7 times with the why? And the bird, why? So the answer is, the Midrash says, why did a person speak Lashon Hara in the first place? Maybe you felt better than that guy. Maybe in your heart, deep down, you felt, look am I? What am I doing? Look at me. I'm better than this guy. This guy's a 0. This guy in the shul, he gets all the honor, all the kavod. This guy is a 0. So what do? You start talking about the guy. What does he think this guy is? What do you think the guy is a legit guy? The guy's not legit. So what? You felt you were better than that guy. Remember, that's the cedar wood. They're very, very strong. You were arrogant. You felt you're better than people. What do you have to be? You have to feel humbled, like the Ezov. Humble. Humble means don't feel you're better than somebody. You can feel good. You have to feel good about yourself. People, you know what the problem is? People don't understand what humility is. People think humility is, never, go like this. The guy screams at you, you have to be, okay, I'm humble, No, that doesn't mean humble. No, that's wrong, humble. Humility means that I know all the gifts that I have is from God. And I'm not better than you because I am doing better things than you. That's humility. Humility means if I have wealth and you don't, I don't feel I'm better than you. I feel I'm gifted that I have this. And the person cannot feel that he's greater than the person that else. Oh, it's a gift. You're smarter than me? Well, you're so smart. You're right. So I feel greater than you because I'm smarter than you? No, it's a gift from God. God given gift. Oh, you worked on it? God gave you the brains to work on it. So you never feel the gava. What do you think? Oh, you think you're more good looking than me? Oh, look, did you get your good looks? What'd you do for your looks? Who gave you your eyes and your nose and your mouth and your face? Who? Oh, I look in the mirror. With the gel, with the thing, with some... I'm the most good looking guy. Look at this. So therefore, you have to understand, you always got to be humble. Humble means that you know all the God-given gifts that I have from God. That's it. I don't feel better than you. Good? That was all about the Ezovness. But But here is what I came to tell you. Here's what I came to tell you tonight. Listen good. First of all, everything I came to tell you tonight, but this specifically I want to speak out. And I want to tell you this Hidush. This Hidush, it says, like the Midrash brings down, why birds? Why birds? Lefi shehanegaim ba'im al lashon hara. We know it's because of lashon hara. And this is what the Midrash says. Why birds? Shehu, what he did when he spoke lashon hara, what did he do? Listen, Nathan. Pitputei devarim. What's pitputei devarim? Pitputei shemitpatetin tamid b'pitzipup kol. Midrash said, what is it? Rashi says in Erechin, what does it mean? It says the birds chirp. So therefore, when the birds are chirping, why are we taking birds? Because we say you're a chirper. That's what it says. So why birds? To purify this Metzora. Because we say you chirped. All the time, hecky, talking. Okay, no problem. Let's get the birds to purify the guy that kept on talking. Because the birds chirp. Now listen to the question. There's a halakha that says, and I'd like to read it to you. The Gemara in Masechet Yoma says, Vedibarta bam. What does it mean, Vedibarta bam? Speak about them. Bam, which is the Torah, yesh lecha reshut ledaber, velo bedebarim aharim, and not through other things. So what do you have to do? That means, that you cannot speak devarim betelim. What's devarim betelim? You can't speak about nonsense, just talk to talk. There's no such thing in this world. It might be hard, it might be difficult, but there's no such thing just to talk. Just talk. No, what else? Talk. No, zug. Person can be sitting with somebody. Let's start a conversation. There's no mitzvah to go ahead and like what's going on? What are you doing? Unless the guy is the prayer, you want to pull him out. You want to do, but just to talk. So no, what else? So what's going on? Just to talk to Devarim Betelim, you're not allowed to talk to Devarim Betelim. For what reason? Right? Every word is measured. Ki hinei yotzer harim uborei ruach u'me'agid la'adam ma sicho. Ki hinei yotzer uborei ruach u'me'agid la'adam ma sicho. Hashem speaks, tells the person at the day of death, what do you speak about? It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but there's halacha. You can't just talk Devarim Betelim. So here's the question. You ready? The question is, we're taking the birds because you were a chirper and you spoke lashon hara. 1 second. If anything, the birds, they didn't speak lashon hara. They just chirped. So how could that be midah keneged midah that I'm supposed to learn from the birds chirping? If anything, I would learn from the birds that they're chirping. You can't talk just to talk. That's what I would learn. But to say lashon hara, how do I learn it from the bird? Yeah, Lalo. You hear the question? Solid, no? You hear the question or no? Good. So what's the answer? Again, the birds are chirping. That's just telling me, are they speaking lashon hara? They're not speaking lashon hara. If anything, they're speaking devarim betelim. They're talking nonsense. So if that's the case, that should be kapara for nonsense. Why is that teaching me not to speak lashon hara? So I'm going to answer you. The answer is, what is the foundation of a person speaking lashon hara? What is it, Adi? What is the foundation of a person speaking lashon hara? Where he doesn't value his words. Where he just talks. He doesn't value his words. So because he doesn't value his words, so therefore he feels that he can talk freely. So you're a chirper. That's the foundation. So we want to tell you, you're right. How did the lashon hara cause? What caused lashon hara? Is because you felt your words are worthless. So that's why you talk. And it led you to speak also nonsense about other people. But if you valued every single word that you speak about, and you value how chashuv you are, to talking like this? No. I'll never forget. And I told you this once, and I'll tell you again, and I love this story with a passion. I was in a doctor's office, and I saw this with my own eyes vividly. The doctor came out, and he saw the two nurses, they were just talking. And I was sitting there in the waiting room. And the doctor blew up on them. What am I hiring you for? You guys are talking, get to work, what are you doing? And I'm thinking like, oh my goodness. What Why? Hashem says, you're here in this world working. That's it, finish. You're working for me. You're talking. If you talk torah. You talk Tehillim. Talk. Of course you need a break. Of course we're not telling you not. But just to have a session of talk, come on. They go around, let's go to the table, bring the visit, heck it, 2 hours, heck it, 2 hours the visit. Okay, no, what else? What else? They have to finish talking until the visit bag is finished. When the visit bag is finished, then they stop the conversation. What are you doing? And understand what's going on. So therefore, why do we keep the birds chirping? What's the answer? The answer is because the birds are chirping. They're not speaking Lashon Hara, but they're speaking Haki Balash. They're speaking. But if you really believed 100% in your heart how valuable words are, you wouldn't just talk freely like that. You were like, wait, let me weigh my words. And of course, you need to talk. Of course, I'm not saying don't talk. Now you're going to come home and say, ma. I'm not saying not to talk. Talk! One of the things that it says by Torah that you need in order to receive the 48 ways is sikha, is to talk. But we're talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You exactly know what I'm talking about. Where there's talking and there's talking. There's talking and there's talking. Okay? You know what he's talking about. You know? There's talking and there's talking. So we're talking about the talking. You know? That's what I'm saying. So when you have that yesod, you'll never come speak Lashon because you realize your words are so precious. You can't just talk like they're nothing. They one time came Rav David Wasserman. He was the son of Rav Chonan Wasserman. And he had a daughter. And his daughter came to the Mir Yeshiva, where Shmuel Birnbaum learned for about 3 years, for a few years, under Rav Chonan Wasserman. Rav Chonan Wasserman was the student of the Havetz Haim. And she, the granddaughter of the Rav Chonan Wasserman, came to the Mir Yeshiva with her father. And she wanted to know stories of her Zaidi, of her grandfather. And they were talking stories, this and that. And then they came to Shmuel Berman. They said, Shmuel Berman, could you tell us a story about Rav Chonan Wasserman? He says, I could tell you one thing. He was very, very careful before he spoke. He thought before he spoke. He didn't just speak. He thought before he spoke. And when you do that, you're not a bird. You think. And therefore we say, don't be a bird and just chirp. Think before you talk. Yeah. Think before you talk. This is all about the Metzora. Yeah.